Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon listeners. It's me Sulaiman Ben Swale coming back on Facebook Live. If you're bear me a minute, let me share this video and the program can start. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The program today is the 6th of May 2022. The time is just gone 12 minutes past 3 in the afternoon in Birmingham, England. We are going to highlight two main subjects. And one is to put the spotlight on the central bank scandal. And the second one is to again present the crime committed against the 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗧𝗏 Foundation by Musa 𝗣𝗨𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, in extension Adama Barrow and his government. And these are the two main topics we're going to deal with, and I want to keep it brief and give probably about an hour or less than an hour on each. And we start with the central bank scandal. And this again have to remind Gambians what we are facing. And Gambians who are hopeful, thinking that because few ministers are added onto the fold of cabinet ministers, or some kind of arrangement have been done, or some new ministries have been created, and that's going to be a different day for Gambia, which I completely think is not, because Adama Barrow is the main problem. Regardless of any Gambian that goes into cabinet to do good would not able to deliver that, because of the intentions of Barrow are very clear. And now these two cases will just highlight that again. The importance of the central bank, we should remember that. The importance of the central bank. And for a case like that case, an allegation of that magnitude, that scale, And the reaction, because they in fact got the information, the allegations, they did not do anything until it was the news was breaking out by the press, MK Marina. Then social media agitated it. They came out, and they came out forcefully. The governor came out forcefully and even put his self on the line that if anything is found within the bank, he's going to resign. I think that was so premature. He did that. Now, the police came out to rubbish the entire scandal, saying that, oh, it's just a scam and this is, and that's it. But that was their premier report. But since then, the central bank went quiet about this case. The police went quiet about this case. And the only reason that would be that the case is valid. The only reason too is there are big people involved in this scandal. Exactly what the scandal is, that is what we're trying to put a spotlight on. Why did I use the word put a spotlight on? Because what I received is the complete report from Central Bank. The complete report of the investigation from Central Bank. I don't believe, I don't think it's conclusive. It cannot be conclusive in my, this thing, that's just an internal review or investigation until we get the side of the police to collaborate. Because the police are meant to be independent, to collaborate the investigations, the facts in the Central Bank scandal and theirs. But for now, hence we have not had the benefit of the police and bringing out their report. What we're going to do is put the spotlight on this report so that the Central Bank themselves should come and answer the question, the queries that we are making pertaining that report, and then the police too would have to act. But again, this is what I said, Gambians to keep their voice, Gambians to have a voice, and to hold the system accountable. And we expect other stakeholders, the Gambian press and other stakeholders to come out onto this. And if any press or media platform asks for the full report, I'm going to give it to them. The full report should not be a secret, should be shared with citizens. Now, this is why I'm using the word putting the spotlight. Another reason putting on spotlight is Gambians will realize that that's basically what I do in most cases, put the spotlight on it. Because of I can only go to a certain level. The other evidences have to be produced by the people who are actually privy or acting on what have happened. My position is to put the spotlight on it so that we can have a discussion, we be aware and hold them accountable, and by holding them accountable, evidence will come out. And if people that have followed my narrative of this case have been doing that, and this is what produced the report from Central Bank itself. Because from when the newspaper Alchemy Times made the report, I took it from there on and keep agitating, asking questions. And other thing I did was trying to broaden the scope of where people have to look at by looking at people that are likely to link to this, as if it's an allegation, but would they have a link to this? And this continued to the extent that now a report, investigation was done, report was completed almost 2 months ago. But recommendations are done, and my position is on those recommendations and the report itself. If there's anything contrary to that, I expect people to produce it, and those people affected should come out and explain themselves. This is the only way we can move on, because this government is not ready to be transparent. This government is not ready to be accountable because of there must be the complicity of the executive, and that level of executive was only not to ministers but to the president himself, because the buck stops with the president. If we have series of crimes being committed and nothing, corruption, economic crimes and different crimes, and nothing been done about it, then the president giving his blessings. And I will go through I've not shared the entire what do you call it? I've not shared the entire report on my timeline. I just shared some of the critical observation of the report on my timeline, being that the report is very extensive, is very large, and that's why I said if any competent platform asks for this, I will share it with them. Okay, and in the report, my observations are here. I said the bombshell at the central bank. The report on central bank scandal was submitted over 2 months ago. These are the following findings. Read it attached. Read the extracts attached. If you look at it yourself, you can see exactly where I am quoting from. There are extracts out there that I'm quoting from. This is what have been written by the committee formed by the central bank itself and the internal committee to do the investigation. That's why I'm asking for the police to come out and collaborate this or not. And I start and ask this question. The investigation reveals surprising conspiracy carried out by the first deputy governor, FDG, and the second deputy governor, SDG, against 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗍 and the governor. Now, what this means is, if you go through the report, what the report is saying that the first deputy governor and the second deputy governor are aware of, they were aware of this conspiracy or this scam, but they did not tell, the report did not tell to what extent did they play a part in this scam. The report did not say that. What the report have indicated is they were aware, and it seems that they hold on to information and they played in a manner that constitute as trying to conspire with the people that did the scam in order to bring down or allege 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗜 to be responsible for the fraud, and which again would undermine the position of the governor of central bank. This is my take from the report, but I'll read this thing as it is as written for them. 2. The report finds Mr. 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗜, 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗍𝒂 𝗪𝒂 and the head of IT appeared to be innocent of allegations, alleged crimes they've been accused. According to the report again, they said, and they choose these words, you choose the word appeared to be innocent. They didn't say 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗜 is innocent, they use the word appeared to be innocent. What are they driving through? Are they trying to say that up to their whatever, according to their investigation, what they have found, 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗜 is innocent? Do they have doubt about that innocence? I think the word appeared need to be rectified or explained. Is either the person is innocent but not appear to be innocent? It should have become clear. If they still have doubt, they should say that they have doubt. But in this case, I take it that the people they name here, 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗍, what do you call it? Where's number 2? 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗜, 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗍𝒑, and the head of IT appear to be innocent of the alleged crimes they've been accused. Now, Abdul was the main person accused here of leading the scam. Now, the report itself have said that Abdul and these people named are innocent. But I don't think these were all the people named. What happened to the other people named? That too needed to be explained in the report. It's not well defined in the report. And the third is the report have found the FDG for wanton, serious misconduct and derelict of duty. According to the report have found the first deputy governor for wanton, serious misconduct and derelict of duties. Then number 4, the report also find the second deputy governor also failing to act appropriately, and both deputy governors concealed vital information regarding the allegations being investigated. That's a damning report for 2 deputy governors. People have to understand the importance of the central bank to appreciate how damning this report is. But since the report was done, no actions had been taken. We have to find out why. And the recommendations of the report is that the report to be submitted to the president. Then the president must have received this report. And the president did actually. And surprise, surprise, president is actually request for a meeting with the governor and deputy governors regarding the reports from social media. And 𝗣𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗧𝗏 was mentioned in the report that 𝗣𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗧𝗏, even though the newspaper break the story, they did not quote the newspaper, they quote that 𝗣𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗢𝗢 wrote on social media. Now, Gambians can see how long this government have it for 𝗣𝗣𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗢𝗢. That 𝗣𝗣𝗣𝗣𝗅𝗢𝗅 wrote. Now the president conveyed this meeting because of 𝗣𝗣𝗣𝗅𝗢𝗅 wrote about this scandal. Then they would not have bothered if the only newspaper have written about the scandal. And they are only concerned because the scandal came out through social media. The president asked for an investigation, and this investigation ensured, and the report recommendation was to be promptly forwarded to the president. I think you can see the recommendations on my timeline with the report. Now, why for 2 months an action is not taken? A swift action should be taken, because these recommendations are damning against two most senior members of the bank, the credibility of the bank. Not now, we continue from there on. 4. And now what I'm asking here, I went on to ask this question. Failure of the central bank board, governor and the government. The board of central bank have to be held accountable. They failed their duty. Because first is for them to make sure that the bank have acted or the report has been actioned. 2, the government as President Barrow should make sure that this has been done to the finance minister. But why did they fail? The governor failed, the board of governors failed, and the government failed. Now, this cannot just be a conspiracy. If it's a conspiracy, it's a conspiracy involving the president himself. There's someone, either the president is trying to cover up for reason known to him, probably because of he have been corrupted to might not be this transaction, but other transaction. Now he have to protect these people, or he is playing favorism or anything else. That's why we need transparency and accountability on this. Now, my questions are here. Why actions are not taken according to the recommendations? Why did the central bank governor and the central bank board of directors fail to act swiftly on the report, considering the seriousness of the allegations? Why did they fail to act on this? The seriousness of these allegations. And the government for that matter. 2, why did the police fail to produce their investigation as promised during their first press release? It's important that the police bring out a report, because the police report would be independent, and the police report would help to clarify other points that are not captured from the internal reports of the central bank, and that would serve as a collaborating evidence, and Gambians would be reassured of what happened. Now, the police seems to be compromised themselves. Hence, the government is compromised. Then the police, as an institution, independent institutions, is not independent, but it's going to compromise in these investigations. Hence, that's why they're quiet. If the entire government machinery is quiet, then means that the president himself is making sure the entire government machinery is quiet. Why did the police not report? Why did the central bank not act on the report? And if the police have a report, why the police report is not been raised or been acted on? These are the questions Gambians need to ask. Now we move on to the next point. Why did the Attorney General and the President fail to follow up the investigations? Who are they protecting? Again, we have to remember that the Justice Minister is not only an advisor to the President for law or cabinet, but he is there to prosecute crimes committed, especially serious crime committed. And he is aware of these criminal activities or alleged criminal activities. And he should have followed and advise the president on action to take, and make sure he too, as his position, to ensure that this case has been brought to the courts. Again, this is another layer to explain that the entire issue is contaminated through the entire system. It have contaminated the entire system from the president downwards. It's an entire corrupt government. And this is not the only case that's going on. Move on. Why was Mr. 𝗣𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗡 suspension extended if the report find him innocent? Few weeks ago, we heard from Alchemy Times that Mr. 𝗣𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗡 suspension was extended. Why was his suspension extended when the report was already done and finished, and the report have found him to be innocent? This is where it's not clear again. Was the position of 𝗣𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗡. That's why we need the position of the police. If the police come out with a report, initially the police have cleared 𝗣𝗪. Now Central Bank have cleared 𝗣𝗪. But the final report of the police, their final investigation, they come and clear 𝗣𝗪, and the Central Bank cleared 𝗣𝗪. Why is he suspended? This is where the conspiracy comes in. Is there an infighting? Is there 2 cabals or 3 cabals in the Central Bank fighting each other? This is what we need to know. As I said, my dog in this fight is the national interest. Now, let's put light into the Central Bank to expose what is happening there. We need a credible Central Bank. And we need to expose this government for what they did, to continue to undermine the Central Bank. And since I posted my article, I have been having information coming from independent sources, sources independent to my other source from the Central Bank, giving me other details, and I will read those details as I got it. I've not done any analysis on it. I'm going to read it raw and for Gambians, because I'll take my time to do analysis, but I want to share that information for Gambians to have a spotlight. We need to have various voices to come out. I continue to ask, why Abdul been mentioned and sent on administrative leave in the first place when the likes of Omar Toure, Chief Security, Chikamba, Deputy Chief Security, and Head of IT all mentioned in the letter, and they were not sent on administrative leave. Nor did the governor mention them on his press release. This is one thing. It seems, from my observation, it's a very lengthy report, I'll tell you. I took time to just scope around to see certain things, to put this thing on. Why the governor of Central Bank decided to send 𝗣𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗡 on leave, but the rest of people mentioned, accused along 𝗣𝗪, are not sent on leave. After, in the investigation, 𝗣𝗪 and the others mentioned, some of these other mentioned have been exonerated from the report that they are innocent. They appear to be innocent. They appear to be innocent. I emphasize that again. But 𝗣𝗪 is still sent on leave. This is what we need clarity on. Is there kabudus in Central Bank? I know there's kabudus everywhere in the Gambia now. What kabudus are in Central Bank? I want Central Bank to come out and speak out. Let them bring their voice out. If they cannot, let them bring it out through me. I'll put it out there. And Gambians will be aware, and something have to be done. We have to put the spotlight in order to hold this government accountable, to act on it. That's what our interest is. That's what national interest is. They cannot bear this, and I'll tell you what they tried to do. Why was 𝗣𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗡 suspended? Okay, now 5. The other bit now is the conspiracy. A close contact at the president's office has revealed to us that the president is protecting the 2 deputy governors. He wants to let them reach their retirement. Someone said very soon. Someone said that these 2 are due for retirement in a month or 2. Now the president doesn't want to extend their tenure of office. Now what he wants to do is to let them go, and then the case will be buried. Why did the president want to bury the case? Because now it's still not clear. From this report, it's not clear if the scam have happened or not. Still now they're dealing the scam as allegations. But there's interesting things to note. The Ansumana Ba that made the allegations have been visiting Central Bank and have been meeting his visit to Central Bank, there's no time he visited Central Bank to meet any other person apart from the two deputy governors. Not any other person, apart from two deputy governors. That too is captured in the report I share on my timeline. Now, why would the president want to bury the case? This is what we need to ask. And why do we need to ask this? When I thought about this, after the persons from the Central Bank that sent me information said something about when 𝗖𝗘𝗡𝗦 left. Monies that disappeared when 𝗖𝗘𝗡𝗦 left. Now, I am going to read that after, but just to keep in mind on this might be a reason advanced by this by the other person from the Central Bank. Now, if people go through the recommendations, I'm struggling to read it. It's clearly said that the Commission recommendations to update the President of the Republic by sharing the outcome of this investigation with his office. 2, to share the outcome of the investigation with the board. 3, to review the interdiction of Mr. 𝗖𝗑𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗡 by the board as he appears to be innocent. 4, to share the outcome of this investigation with the police for further investigation. Now, this is the committee recommendation to follow up. Now, if these things have been shared, why, after 2 months, why are we not having any update on this? But relating to the above findings and the committee conclusion, relating to the findings and the committee conclusion said, 1, that all the allegations contained in the letter dated the 10th February 2022 appear to be false or unfounded. They said that it appears false to be unfounded. They have not do citations on that, or why they think it appears false or unfounded. That's why we need the police report. Because the police have a better outreach, because the internal can only investigate the internal. But any other external things they cannot investigate. 𝗣𝗨𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗡, who is Abdul's brother, needed to be investigated by the police, not Central Bank. Central Bank cannot investigate him because he's not working for Central Bank. And he was mentioned as the person that received the money. Now, what we expect from the police is to come and clear 𝗣, or if 𝗣𝗨𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗡 is held accountable to distinguish whether it's a coincidence that 𝗣 is Abdul's brother and the half brother actually, and he works at the bank. Is it a coincidence or what? We need a clear report from the police. That's why it's important. 2, that Mr. 𝗖𝗘𝗡𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗡, 𝗖𝗘𝗡𝗦 and 𝗘𝗫𝗣𝗅, as well as the head of IT, appear to be innocent. They said they appear to be innocent. Okay, but they went on to say that the first deputy governor is found wanting for serious misconduct and dereliction of duty. Now, what is the punishment for a deputy, a sensitive institution like Central Bank, of governor of Central Bank, to be found wanting and a serious misconduct and dereliction of duty? Does that constitute a gross misconduct or what? These are the things that we need to understand and to be acted on. Why these are not been acted on? Again, I'm reading from these recommendations. It went on to number 4, that the second deputy governor also failed to act appropriately, and that number 5, both deputy governors concealed vital information regarding the alleged allegations being investigated. Now, both deputy governors. Now, if both deputy governors can work together, is that not undermining the governor himself? Because they are both deputies. Why do you have both deputies? Is it undermining the governor? Now, if they are undermining the governor, should they keep their position? And why the 2 deputies conceal vital information? What interest do they have in the case to conceal vital information? Did they conceal vital information to get the governor and some people in the central bank in trouble? And that's not the way to act. That's not transparent. That's not accountable. That's not the way to act. They should have followed a due process of providing the information required so that investigation can be carried out and disciplinary action taken and the due course of the law will take in shape. Or we ask ourselves, did they keep this vital information in order to conceal or insulate some people who have committed the crime? Do they know something about the crime? Did they participate in the crime, the alleged crime? Now, these are the questions we need to ask. I mean, the only the committee finding conclusion is 5 points. It's 5 points, and it's a very lengthy report. It's 5 points, and these 5 points have actually gone against the 2 deputy governors and have cleared the rest and are trying to and saying that the allegations are unfounded. Would Gambians be satisfied with this? Does Gambians require or deserve a report from the police in order to have a better understanding and a better conclusion? And now, what is the action of the government on this? I think these are valid things that needed to be answered. And part of the report says this. Another very important part said this. Now, to say that Nsumana Bah is not mentally imbalanced or whatever, something must have happened. Now, we don't know the extent of what happened. That's why we need the police to help us with that. 𝗣𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗍𝗓 cannot help us with that. What 𝗣𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗍𝗓 can do to put the spotlight on it so that the case will not bear it like that. And Gambians will make sure the case is not in bed like that. It says here, it is also revealed that the he also revealed that he subsequently directed for a search on the visitors log after he was informed of Nsumana's presence in the bank. This search revealed that Nsumana visited the bank on the following dates and times to meet the officials mentioned in the table below. Who are those officials and the time and date? On the 22nd of December 2021 at 14:27, as Nsumana visited the bank at 14:27 and left at 14:30, and he visited the second deputy governor. Okay. On the 11th of January, from the 22nd, on the 11th of January 2022, Nsumana visited the central bank at 13:51 and left the central bank at 14:19 and visited the fourth deputy governor. Now, the two deputy governors Nsumana have visited. Now, on the 9th of February 2022, Nsumana visited again the central bank from 7 minutes past 2, 14:07 to 14:14 and meet with the second deputy governor again. On the 10th February 2022, Nsumana visited the central bank again and at the time of 15:12 to 15:30, and this time meet the fourth deputy governor again. On four occasions, he visited the central bank, and on these 4 occasions, 2 occasions with the first deputy governor, and the other 2 occasions with the second deputy governor. In the visitors report, I have seen the visitors report. Apart from these 2, I don't think Nsumana have visited anybody else. I've not seen that. And it went on to say, Mr. Sekou Touré, member, received that the first deputy governor gave him a copy of the letter from the solicitor chambers on the 11th February 2022 in preparation for a meeting scheduled on the same day at 12 p.m. It's again that the deputy governor revealed that the first deputy governor was the one that took the letter from the solicitors or handed in, and that letter was actually deposited at the central bank by Nsumana Bah. it seems as both governors, deputy governors, sorry, first and second were talking to Ansumana without the knowledge of the governor. That's undermining the governor. And they were talking to the solicitors of Ansumana without the knowledge of the governor or the bank official. Now, he received the letter from the solicitor representing Ansumana, that making the allegations against Abdul Son. It went on to say, Ms. 𝗖𝗘𝗡𝗢𝗧𝗏, secretary, revealed that she received a copy of the letter from the first deputy governor on Friday, 11 February 2022 in preparation for a meeting at 12 noon. After receiving of the letter and without revealing her source, she said she engaged Abdul on a conversation based on the information she got. She informed the committee that she saw Ansumana and Sana Marena at the bank reception, where Ansumana told her that he was in the bank to see first deputy governor. She also revealed what Mr. Lamin Bitey, legal officer, had told her regarding the encounter with Ansumana at Brusubi. Now, the Ansumana guy had contact in the bank. Now the governor has to explain this. That's why the report needs to be dealt with. Okay, the secretary to the bank, to the governor or to the bank, I mean, which I don't know which is, Miss 𝗖𝗘𝗡𝗢𝗧𝗏, explained that she did meet Ansumana in the bank foyer, in the reception area. And Ansumana did say that was there to meet the first deputy governor. And Ansumana said that he's there to meet the first deputy governor. And she said that Ansumana was in the company of a guy called Sana Marena. Was in the company of Sana Marena. And she said that she also revealed that Mr. Lamin Bitey, legal officer, told her an encounter he had with Ansumana in Brusubi, that he have encountered with Ansumana Brusubi. And the bank, as the governor said that the bank, and this is showing that once the bank is really entangled in this. The bank is really entangled in this, and something has to be done to entangle the bank so that the bank would not be brought into disrepute. That's why these people mentioned should be held accountable. And the events for January, these things investigation revealed that the investigations revealed that Mr. Ansumana visited the premises of the bank on the 22nd of December 2021 before the hour of 14. Yeah, these are the same things captured in the table. Yeah, I mean, as I said, one can go and have a look at my timeline and read some of these extracts. But it's a huge document, and I'll share this document with competent media platforms that want to, have a look for themselves and see how they can put the spotlight on it. And this is an example, as we said, of the corruption in the Gambia. And to bring in few new ministers or rearrange ministries is not the problem. The problem is Adama Barrow condoning corruption, and why this report is not acted on. The importance of this report, why it's not acted on. Now, it's for Gambians, as I said, we put the spotlights on Gambians, we educate each other and Gambians to take action and to hold this government accountable and hold the people directly impacted accountable. Now, what does this report tell us? That the central bank have been brought into disrepute. There is a cover-up somewhere. Now, the allegations themselves still should not just be brushed away. The report have mentioned the innocence of the people alleged in the allegations, but we have seen a new dimension in the report that there's a conspiracy led by two senior executives. These are the two deputy governors against the the governor, let's say, because he ultimately, or the bank itself. But why are they doing this? Is it an infighting to succeed the governor? Do they have something to cover up? That things we need to know. Now, I want to take my time again to go to what my new contact in the bank. I don't know who he is or she is. I don't know who he is or she is. I don't know whether it's a male or female. What I know, that the person alleged to be working at the bank at present, right now at the bank, and the person sent me information from a third party, but the third party have assured me that he works at the bank, and the third party have assured me what gender he or she is, and have in fact given me the name of the person, but I am not going to share the name, and I'm not going to share the gender. It's between me and the third party and the contact. And for that contact to have confidence that I'll never reveal his gender, I'll never even reveal his so that someone can narrow it down and who he is. But again, what I am going to read, it's what he said or she said. It's not what I am saying about this. And let me read it, because some of it is very controversial. But controversial does not mean it's not true. It doesn't mean it's true. But what can make this true or not true is an independent investigation. That's why we need the police report, and we compare the police report with the central bank report, and Gambians can make up their mind. Now, he said, Ben, the thing is, the 155 million is to slam the new governor and to shake up his tenure, as they were for the former governor, the present governor, the first deputy governor, and the second deputy governor. They the players, the present governor, and now it's his turn to play them. So they are mad that with lot of so-called fraud conspiracy, wrapping it up with a fake currency. IMF, all that to draw the international community into it, while they will clean up the remnants of the dirty left on them, as they supposed to exit by kids this month. So they would go down with a fight, and that's what they have done. Okay, I have literally read it verbatimly, but what I'm understanding here, this person is alleging that this is a fight between four of them. The previous governor that's been relief of the position, the present governor 𝗧𝗛𝗧𝗜𝗍𝗑, and the two deputy governors. It was four of them. Now it's an fight between them. Probably, in fact, why? The removal of the first governor, they're not happy about it. The new governor is taking a position that they are not happy. Probably they're not happy that the governor was removed because they got along, or they're not happy that the governor was removed and they are not given the position. Someone else was brought to bring a position. This might be what he's alluding here. I'm just putting that. Now, but again, he's saying that they're doing it for this tenure of this governor to slime dirt on the governor. That's his present governor, that's his 𝗧𝗛𝗧𝗜𝗍, to dirty the image of 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗍. That's what they're trying to do. By doing this, they concocted a conspiracy. He's saying that this is a conspiracy that they concocted. It never happened. Nothing serious have happened, or the fraud did not happen. He said that wrapping it up with a fake currency. He said they made with a lot of so-called fraud conspiracy. Wrap it with a fake currency. IMF, all that to draw the international community. They put IMF part of it. They made the report and put IMF part of the report so that international community would take attention of it. That's what he alleges here. Into it, whilst they would clean up the remnants of that left on them. He said that they're doing this because they are about to leave the position of deputy governor. They're about to leave the bank. Now, they have that on them. He's alleging that these two deputy governors have that in them. Now, what they're doing is trying to push on that to the new system, or the system they're going to leave behind, and they can go down fighting clean. That's what he is alleged. The person continued. They did all this with the help of people from the executive who do, I think he meant who do not, but let me just read what he said, and I'll take my point. They did all this with the help of I think he was hiding when he was typing this. They did all this with the help of people from the executive who do have a clue of this money left behind. But okay, no, he actually meant this. They did all this with the help of people from the executive who do have clue of the money left behind by the former president. As the former Secretary General have an immediate brother, little brother, within the central bank. This information, that informs me of everything, and the brother used him too to block clearance for certain senior officials from traveling. That same brother was part of the investigating committee on this 55 million. Why to give heads up? Why he is part of it? To give heads up, to his brother, in order to know what to inform the president and what not to do. Now, this is another allegation this person is making, and I'm sharing it for Gambians to get the spotlight on and see what the facts are. He's saying that they did all this with the help of people within the executive who do have clue of the money left by the former government, former president. Now, he just said the executive. Executive means the cabinet and means the president's office. He said that they are having help. He said that these people conspiring to fight the new governor are having help from people within the executive that have knowledge of the money left behind in 2016 when Jammeh left the Gambia. This is coming more interesting. Let's move on again to clarify more. Left the Gambia. Now, he continued to say, he continued to allege that as the former Secretary General, if you are listening, can you tell us which former Secretary General? Do you mean Noah Touré? I think it means Noah Touré. I think it means Noah Touré. He said the former Secretary General has an immediate brother, little brother, within the central bank that informed him, the source, the contact, that informed him of everything, and the brother used him to block clearance. That means that the Secretary General used his brother in order to identify senior officers that need clearance, to block their clearance so that they will not travel out of the Gambia. For certain senior officers from traveling. What that means, to stop them from having padem. You see this padem scam? People try using padem scams. But he continued to say that that same brother was part of the investigating committee. He's saying that the former Secretary General, Touré, I think, brother was part of this committee that did the investigation. That's what he's alleging. And continue that why so is because of so that the brother can give him heads up, can give the Secretary General heads up about what is happening in the committee, so that he can control or handle the president, and who can handle the president. Now it's going deeper. Now another text said the first deputy governor was called personally with the governor, and he liked, not knowing the said accuser, lo and behold, he was in cahoot with him from day one. Okay, let me read it again according to the way he wrote the text. The first deputy governor was called personally with the governor, and he liked, not knowing the said accused lo and behold, he was in cahoot with him from day one. If this is not concealment and lying to the highest office, what it is, and there is, and here is when we want, and here is when we wonder what type of executive we have. Now, what he's alleging here, my understanding is, the first deputy governor was called by with the governor, must be either to the board or to the president, because they are the only authorities that can call both of them to go and answer. He did not specify who called them, but it must be a higher authority, and the higher authority would be the the board of directors or the president himself, the executive. He said when they were called, when the first deputy governor was called, he said that he did not know the accuser. He did not know Nsumana Bah. Not in the whole that actually he knows Nsumana Bah and they are cahoot in this conspiracy from the beginning. He's alleging that the first deputy governor was in this thing, and again, that's evidence that that visiting at the central bank was between Nsumana Bah was visiting the central bank and meeting the first and second deputy governor. Now, he's alleging that he lied when he was called to say that he did not know the accuser. But on behold that they were doing the deal together. Now, he is saying that if that's not concealment, lying and concealment, what it is? And the findings said that they had concealed information. He continued to say, this first deputy governor and second deputy governor, one board member and legal advisor, a former senior staff of the bank, are the cause of an order bank bought by the government crashed to its knees. Now, he is alleging here again that these two, the first deputy governor and the second deputy governor, and a board member, he did not name the board member, and a legal advisor, a former senior staff of the bank, are the cause of order bank board by the government crashed to its knees. He's saying that these people are responsible for the bankrupt of a bank bought by the government, which might be mega bank. I've received an investigation report on mega bank. I did not have time to look at it because there's so much coming in. That's why we're trying to build a platform so that we can take our time and deal with this properly. So much coming in. Now he's alleging this too. That is another allegations. This is the central bank governor have to come out. Central bank need to come out and entangle this. It continued again. As for the new governor, he is really not he claimed to be. He said, as for the new governor, he is really not he claimed to be. I think what he's meant is the new governor is not what he claimed to be. What he claimed to be is a squeaky clean professional doing abroad. He said not claimed to do. But let's continue again what he written. He or she written anyway. He said, when he took up office, he stylely refused to pick up salary for about 6 months. Guess why? The guy was busy negotiating new salary and incentive for him and the first deputy governor and second deputy governor, and when it was accorded by the executive, he immediately backdated and paid himself. My God. My God. My God. This is an expose. This is an expose. I'll tell you, this is an expose. I did not realize. You see, I didn't even have time to read this. I didn't even realize the magnitude of these allegations. He alleged. Now, let's see newspapers go out there and find out this whether it's a fact or not. Let the politicians go out there and question this whether it's a fact or not. He alleges that 𝗲𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗍𝒣 is not what he claims to be. Because he said when 𝗲𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗍𝒣 came in to the office as central bank governor, if you know how much central bank governors are paid and the packs they have, a residence and everything, he was not satisfied. Boaz said he was not satisfied. But he pretended he did not take the 6 months salary. When within that 6 months, he was negotiating with the executive, that's mean the president and the finance ministry, for him and his deputies to have a pay rise. These people don't feel sorry for Gambians. With the suffering for Gambians, now they're taking more money. To have a pay rise. I just want to, I'll try and contact this guy just to give me figures. If he can get me figures. We need to get figures on this. To get a pay rise and additional benefits. The minute they approve this, he backdated the benefits and everything for 6 months. That's robbery. That's robbery. Now, how can this person, if these allegations are true, how do you expect this person to be independent from the executive? How can the bank governors, the board of directors go to bed approving, because they have to be part of approval of this budgets and everything. The governor cannot do it alone. The executive has to go through the board. This is the accountability we ask for. He continued. Does this man, I'm reading again, does this man have the interest of the bank at heart? The governor himself is corny. He has his mouthpiece by 𝗖𝗘𝗡. He tells him all he wants to do, knowing that the guy would run with it to other members of the staff, and he will be seen in the great way while he has other agendas. He's alleging that the governor is very corny. That what it does is have a mouthpiece, a guy called 𝗖𝗘𝗡, that he will brief for that 𝗖𝗘𝗡 to run this brief down to the other staff members to be seen in a good light. He continued for his agenda, by selling his agenda. He continued. The governor swear to take whosoever is behind this to court. So how comes now he is as mute as the button? Is this because fourth deputy governor has something on him? Good question. Now, this is interesting. This is why I keep on asking about this. Why not take action? He said that the governor doesn't have the interest of the bank. By doing what he did, it's evidence. And he's alleging now that if the governor stated in this first press conference that he's going to take anybody down to court if they found one thing or whatever, why after investigations have been concluded, he is mute as ever? Does this mean that the first deputy governor too have something on the new governor? Does this mean you see, now, this doesn't stop there. What does the executive know about this? Now, for people thinking that Barrow have new ministers, nothing would change. Nothing would change in that country. Barrow is part of the problem. He is corrupt and greedy and lazy. And he doesn't have the capacity, in fact, to comprehend the damage he's done to our country. I continue with this guy's text again. He said, since he assumed office, what good had he done to the economy of the country? That's the question of the contract from Central Bank. What has he done on the mutilated and dirty banknotes, if not brag and travel endlessly and take along Madam Hadi Diouf on trips to assist her with her per diem, and she's trapped for cash? Now, the person is alleging again. I don't know who these people are. I don't know who this Hadi Diouf is. But she's alleging again that, asking the question, very valid question, what have the bank done since his tenure? What have he done with the dirty, deprecated money circulating? Not only that, I add the old money still circulating. What have he done about that money? What have he done to improve the bank, apart from scandals coming out? But he alleged that all he does is brag and travel endlessly, taking along Madam Hadi Diouf on trips to assist her with her padem as she is strapped with cash. Now again, the padem, we pay our government padem, is padem. I don't know it's called padem or padem. Now, that's how they used to steal money. These people don't feel sorry for the people. He negotiated new salary, he got new packs, and it's not enough. He's traveling endlessly. And taking along this Hadi youth to help Hadi youth to get padem, because apparently Hadi youth is in need of money. The lifestyle of these people are killing the poor Gambians. It continued. And with Hadi Diouf, as the guy, I'm reading what the guy said. With Hadi Diouf, she is the worst that the bank have ever had. Nobody has right to healthcare vote than her. Even when you go on treatment in your own cost and you are entitled to refunds, she would ensure that you are denied that. This guy is, I don't know the variety of this, was making allegation on Hadi Diouf, that Hadi Diouf is the worst. Probably Hadi Diouf is responsible for that vote, for healthcare. Whoever goes on and even paid for yourself entitled to be refunded, Hadi would say you will not be refunded. And the guy continued to say, even when you go on treatment in your own cost and you are entitled to refund, she will ensure that you are denied that. People have, he said, people have been denied because of her selfishness. She brings her laundry to be ironed at the bank. She have a bank car at her disposal. She retired by governor worships the ground she walks in and take her in his trips just for padem, like the high and mighty legal advisor. I don't understand this bit, but let me try and read it again. She said that she retired, the bit that she brings her laundry to be done at the bank, probably by one of the cleaners or something like that. That's what I assume. But the person is alleging that people are okay. He first said that people have died because of her selfishness. She brings her laundry to be ironed at the bank, probably by the maids or people working there. She have a bank car and at her disposal. She have a bank car, whether it's entitled, I don't know. She said she retired by the governor, worshiping the ground. She walks in and take her in his trips just for padem. I think she said that the governor worships Hadi, and he takes Hadi on a padem. And the word retired, I don't understand. That point he made before. And he continued to say that he claimed he needs to pay school fees. He retired, but used the bank as his private legal office and goes on trips with governors at expense of the present actual legal advisor of the bank. Now, is Hadi the legal advisor? I don't know. I'm a bit confused about this. If you are listening to this program, please get back to me on this, or I'll get back to you on this. Will be clarified. I don't know what role is Hadi's, what position Hadi held, and what role he plays at the bank. But he's alleging that the legal advisor too has been taken on trips, whether it's Hadi is defined or not. That's the guys. So many came in. I'm not sure I can read. I'll try and read as much because I'm getting tired and I need to cover the 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧 case. He said central banks should have the likes of Michael. Look, I'll have to deal with this later. And it's kind of a bit too much. I mean, I think we covered a lot, but we'll try to find a way to deal with that later. We have to cover the other bit. It's gone over an hour now. I wanted to spend an hour on this. Now, guys, that's the position on the central bank scandal. But we have another case we're following. And this case, again, goes to the doors of the executive. And the executive, not only the minister, but the president. And this is showing a proof of a systemic corruption, systemic abuse of office, systemic nepotism, systemic everything in the country. The second, because if I get into the second one, because we dealt with it before, but we have more highlights on it to bring. And again, to refresh our memory on what the 𝗧𝗏 𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗡𝗏 Foundation case is against 𝗧𝗏 𝗧𝗛𝗡, the Minister of Lands, and the government. I put the government there. The 𝗧𝗏 𝗧𝗏 Foundation, 𝗧𝗏 𝗧𝗏𝗜𝗡's mother acquired a land, allocated a land before 1994, around 1992 or so. And that land was registered for 99 years, legally registered. That land was fenced. That land was starting to be developed by putting structures in there. And we all know what happened in 1994-95. 𝗧𝗏's life was cut short. He was killed, murdered by the government itself of Yaya Jammeh. Now the family fought for justice, and later we all know what would have happened. They took the right decisions to leave the country and go and live in exile. But regardless, they continue to take care of the property. They continue to pay the rates that is required for the property until circumstances improve that allow them to come back to the country. They came back the country. Unfortunately, their mother passed away during this time. Their father passed away during this time. And that can be attributed for the grief, the pain, the suffering they went through because of the life of their son. And I think might be the only son, I'm not sure, but someone will tell me if 𝗧𝗏 was the only son. Now, that happened to them. Even Yaya Jammeh did not go that low to take that property. And Yaya Jammeh was aware that they have that property. Yaya Jammeh did not go that low. No. And may I add, there are many reasons why I am highlighting this 𝗧𝗏 Foundation property. But there are so many happening, and the government is taking advantage of that, taking land owned by people due to circumstances, taking those land from them. The criminal is a criminal act, and this is going against the victims. They did not give justice to the victims. Now they are in fact going to inflict pain onto the victims by taking their own properties. And again, this property, when they return with their hard work and the blessings of Allah, the family prospered. Probably even that they would not have if they had stayed in the Gambia. That one of the sisters, Dr. Nafi Sise, have been coming to the Gambia after the capacity he had and the contacts he have, coming to the Gambia with a medical charity twice a year to help the people. To help the people. Even though that country that denied them justice. Now the family want to continue the memory of their mother, but again to upgrade that to the memory of their brother, and continue the school that the mother have planned to put in the memory of 𝗧𝗏 𝗧𝗏 to be called the 𝗧𝗏 𝗧𝗏 Foundation. And not only a school, but even a vocational training center. Not only a school, but a vocational training center. The family could have just come and cut these pieces and divide it among themselves and sell it and continue their life where they have, because how much pain and hurt they have. No. They decided, no, the pain and hurt we have is to come back and help to change the society. so that it will not happen to anybody else. Something that the government should have done. The government neglected the victims, neglected the reconstructions of life and the reconstruction of society that was needed after what had happened 22 years. These people come in to champion that, to build a foundation and to improve the lives of the youths, to impact. And that's the memory from 𝗧𝗧, what 𝗧𝗧 is about. And to know that 𝗧𝗧 life was cut short, that 𝗧𝗧 did not even have the opportunity to have his own family. I mean, to have wife and kids. But that's why it's fitting to have a memory of a school, and those school, that children would just has been 𝗧𝗧's children going to school and achieving as what 𝗧𝗧 would aspire for his own children to have to achieve. This is the background. Now, when they came back, they went back to start the project. Until 𝗧𝗛𝗧𝗏𝗏, who thinks he's the alpha and he is the don or who he is, conspired with the cabal of the URR. There's a URR cabal now. They've been, but now they are very prominent. The URR cabal came and took the land, seized the land, without following any due process, denied them the land, and give it to one of their cabal members. And that's where I'm going to comment today, to expose who the cabal member is, and why I said he's a cabal member, and why I allege that he is associated with Barrow and associated with 𝗧𝗛𝗧𝗏𝗏. This cabal member, 𝗬𝗎𝗧𝗧𝗏𝗏, so arrogant, went to take over the property, land, start chopping the trees, starting to build a structure to force the family out. Gambia, why would anyone be forced out of their property? This was what we used to accuse Yahya Jammeh for. It's happening. And now it was 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏 who did it. Now let's see if Barrow is was not part of it, and now Barrow is aware of this case. Now let's see, we have a new minister, whether the new minister will do the right thing. Because I tell you, they are working on the Barrow's order. We'll get to that. Now they took this land from this family. The land that when they want to develop for a school and a vocational training center. To give it to a cabal member of Barrow from 𝗬𝗎𝗓, and for 𝗬𝗎𝗓 to build a private school, 𝗬𝗎𝗓 already have a school in Busumbala. 𝗬𝗎𝗓 already have a private school in Busumbala. Now, it's like the Sisi family are no humans, or they are nothing. Or any family is nothing. If they want something, they have to have it in the country, and they own the country. Anybody else doesn't matter. This is what they're doing. Something we accuse them of. And was someone who's already been a victim of them now could become a victim of this government. The family have followed the due process. I'll tell you. Some people would have done something different. They would just say that, let me see anyone come to my land and see what's going to happen to the person, because I have the legal deeds. I'll explain the rest. Now, they taking the land on. The family followed the due process, trying to get answers. Now they don't even get their correspondence. Legal correspondence are not even answered. Why the family have to bear the cost again, taking a lawyer to try to prove something that's their own? Let anybody look at it to themselves. If land was taken away from you, and a land that is so dear to you, this is the memory of your mother, this is the memory that you want to make of your brother, but this is something to represent the interest. Government doesn't have any powers to take land unless that land is for state use, and that too have to go through a process. They cannot just take it. There's a law in the country. But you'll find out. What you find out from this deliberation too is 𝗧𝗛𝗘 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗚, again, you see, 𝗧𝗛𝗘 𝗬𝗢𝗡, who was given land, the multimillionaire lawyer, who was given land by 𝗧𝗛𝗘 𝗬𝗢𝗡, is the lawyer for 𝗧𝗛, and he's the lawyer for the cabal, URR cabal. He's the lawyer for Keita, what's his name? Banka Keita, or what you call it, the drug dealer. Now the lawyer for 𝗧𝗛 is 𝗧𝗛𝗘 𝗬𝗢𝗡. Just show you this lack of shame in these people. Even a lawyer, you should be ethical. 𝗧𝗛 knows what they're doing is wrong. But no, now they form their cabal to do what they want in that country, to take what they want in their country. If you know how much land 𝗧𝗛 have taken from the government since this government came, TDA, him and his brother and his cabal, you'll be surprised. Now both 𝗧𝗛 and Yusuf know that this land is owned by the 𝗧𝗔 family and it's a foundation land. And this is what they want to do. 𝗧𝗛 could have advised his client rightly, this is wrong. I am not going to be part of this. 𝗧𝗛 cannot say that he doesn't know that it's wrong. He cannot say that what my client told me. No. He have seen what the 𝗧𝗔 family have claimed. And to look at what 𝗧𝗔 family have claimed, the land ownership from 1992 to now, fees paid, everything paid, and he have seen the procession. And I'm going to explain something crucial when I look at the what I written about this. You see, this is the level of injustice in the country. That's the level of injustice in the country. Now, think about this. So many families are affected this way. But some families cannot even afford a lawyer. Communities are affected by this. What did the government care? No. What they care about is taking land. That's why 𝗧𝗛𝗘 got away with it. That's why I said that if anybody thinks Barrow is serious in doing anything different, it's a lie. He would not have kept 𝗧𝗛𝗘. But he will have to keep 𝗧𝗛𝗘. Because 𝗧𝗛𝗘 is there to enable the NPP what they want, to enable the URR cabal what they want. In business, in anything. Land, anywhere they want land. Hamadija, wherever he want land, he will have land. Whether it's conducive for the, you have seen the land he's taken, strategic positions. Whether it's conducive for petrol station or not, he will give it to him. Barrow, wherever he want land, he gets. Farmata Barrow, wherever he want land, will get. 𝗧𝗛𝗘 𝗬𝗢𝗡, wherever he lands, he get. 𝗣𝗚 𝗬𝗢𝗡, wherever he wants land, is where. 𝗣𝗚 𝗬𝗢𝗡's friend, wherever they want land, they get. Now 𝗬𝗛, wherever he wants land, he gets. Now Gambians are telling us we are an equal society. That this government is humble government. This government is righteous. How can anyone support a government like this? Is this not a criminal government? How can anybody say that this government is changing, it's got a new cabinet, and keep 𝗧𝗛𝗘 at another lucrative position? Fisheries, the licensing, the sea, and everything else. The resources within the sea. Now, go and look at the appointments. All the lucrative positions are given to Barrow, people that will do what Barrow wants. Let me just get there. Let's just concentrate on this for another day. Now, let's go on to this. If you bear me a minute. Yeah, I've written the post on my timeline. And on this post, the reason I written the post, I went and had I went to my investigation and helped with my investigation. It was 𝗧𝗛 was identified for me on Facebook. I went on 𝗧𝗛 Facebook and got this information from 𝗧𝗛. And the Facebook said 𝗬𝗎 English School. Proprietor of 𝗬𝗎 English School, former managing director of import and building material, and that now owns the school. Yeah. Now, another part of it, this thing I got is here. It says that why people always like yam tongue, infinity eating, in fuller tongue, smile. You are welcome to 𝗬𝗎 English School. Busumbala and another in Kotu East by September 2022. Let take our children out of the box and let them fly around in the world. They may return home with significant tools to fix the accelerate our country, developed for all Gambians. This is a post he made, and I'll come back to this post. The other post is, the world is a complicated place for many people, including myself. In 1977, when my late mother bought me a bike in our village in URR, my feeling of happiness was 1,000 times greater than having many cars bought for myself. My mother took me to 𝗣𝗨 town in the 1970s, see the cars and trucks passing by, and see shining lights of electric, experiencing the well-dressed children in uniform going to school was 1,000 times greater feeling for me than I was having dinner in Washington, D.C., London, Paris, Nairobi. Why people always like yam tongue. Indefinite, yeah. Now, this guy is saying his experience, but this experience did not make him humble. Now, he is going there to take someone's property, someone who is trying to build a school to help other children. Those children he admired, and those children he said he wanted to inspire to do that. When he already have a private school, why is he going to stop someone else from developing a school? What does he tell about his morals? An educator, if he's an educator, why would he know injustice and do it? He knows it's unjust. Why is he perpetuating injustice? As an educator, why does he have the moral courage to say that, look, hence this land is owned by someone else building a school, I cannot disturb that. Let me find another one. Or help me find another one. Hence he had this good relationship with the minister and others. But we look at that too. Another post he did is, he said, Yusuf Silla, our president Adama Barrow have finally won, and he won big. Many of his opponents have underestimated him so much in many aspects, and that become his major strength against them. My dear friend, never underestimate your opponent in any situation. That tells you that he is what? A supporter of Adama Barrow, probably a financier and so on. He's a supporter of NPP. But again, when he said that from 𝗣𝗨, that proved to he's from URR. That's why he's in the cabal. Now, then with these postings, what I deduct from these postings is here. I said some of the reasons why Barrow is protecting Musa's criminal 𝗏𝗏. Because of why? Because Musa 𝗏𝗏 is enabling Barrow what Barrow wants. Barrow wants to entrench himself, and Barrow wants to entrench himself with people that allow him to be, enable him to entrench himself, and he will reward those people. That's why you see the rewards in cabinet, rewarding Sabalis and others. He doesn't care about what happens to the country. Agriculture to the bin, I don't care. I want people to follow me. I want people to believe that I reward it. Now he's rewarding these people, but people who are very close to him, in fact, based on regional and other ties. Now Musa 𝗏𝗏 was at the local government, enabling that through election fraud and election campaign financing and everything else, taking money from financiers, business people. Now Musa 𝗏𝗏 would be in charge of land, giving land, be it a forest, be it the seafront, be it a cemetery, be it women garden, be it somebody's property, be it a victim property. He doesn't care. And Musa 𝗏𝗏 will do it. And this is called the cabal. Now, I continue to say, please see the attached Facebook page of 𝗬𝗎 Silla. He is the person allocated the land owned by the 𝗬𝗎 family. his profile have linked him to both President Barrow, Port, and Mossad criminal brand. He is from the URR, operating since part of the cabal. Same area. He's from the URR, operating since Barrow came to power. Some of these cabal members were actively supporting the Jammeh. That's why Jammeh even win Barrow in the URR during the 26 elections. What I'm saying here is, these people from this post, you can tell that he have links to Barrow and the NPP and Mossad Barney. Now, this cabal, they were active, but since Barrow came to power, they become just super active, and now they are powerful because of their association with Barrow. And these people, I'll tell you, 2016 itself, they never supported Barrow. And the testimony of that is Ababakar Jawara said that in an interview. Ababakar Jawara brother said that interview. They supported Jammeh. They don't support opposition. That's what he said. That's what it means. They just go with the gravy trade. Now, these people supported Jammeh in 2016, and Jammeh won in that area. And throughout Jammeh reigns, Jammeh has been winning in that area because of this cabal people. URR cabal are supporting him. And these people now turn to Barrow. Now they join the gravy trade here. That's what they operate. It is also shown that Yunus is a huge supporter of Barrow. Might be the reason Musa have the audacity to act the way he did. Yeah? I continue to say, further question to ask from Yunus' Facebook post. 1. He has a school in Busumbala. How did he acquire the land in Busumbala to build a school? If he was allocated the land by either the government or the customary landowners, why is he entitled to another allocation? Go and look at the Land Act. Go and look at the Land Act. First, let's even keep it this way, just a minute. Just forget about even the illegal, or put aside the illegal acquisition of the land from the Cc's family. Now, just ask, how did he acquire land? Just to show the privileges or the or given to him, and the malpractice he is encouraging, taking part in, and the corruption and the nepotism that is happening in our country. If he was given land in the Busumbala, how did he acquire the land? Let him come and tell us. Was he given the land free by the community because of he was going to build a private school? Was it allocated land by government? We need to know. When did he have this land? Is it during Jammeh time? Because of he too was fraternizing with Jammeh, or is within Barrow's time? We need to know. If someone else knows this answer, please help us with it. I ask again. Or did Musa Drameh sold him land belonging to the 𝗏𝗏 Foundation? Now, if he is how did he acquire the how is he acquired the land that owns by 𝗏𝗏's Foundation? Is he going to buy that land from the open market? Is Musa Drameh selling that land, or is Musa Drameh allocating him land? Because if Musa Drameh is even allocating a land to him, that's illegal. He can only sell him a land. Now, is he telling us Musa Drameh is selling him a land? Now, we want to know too, how did Mr. Silla, Yunus Silla, try to acquire? He has not acquired it yet because it's been contested. How is he trying to acquire the land in 𝗏𝗏 that belongs to the Cc's family? 2. How did Yunus come to know about the land in 𝗏𝗏 belonging to the 𝗏𝗏 Foundation? This is very interesting to know. How did, you know what these people do? They have their chart, they look at the land, and they look at the proportion of land, or this land, and they find out who owns it, and they see how to do it. Now, ask yourself, would any sane person go around where land are already occupied and trying to find out who owns what land? Unless you're looking at the land to try to offer the person an amount he can resist. Would any person go to areas that land are occupied, 𝗏𝗏 is completely occupied and everything, and go to government and try government to give you that land? How did he come to know about this land? This is something people need to ask. Now we continue that to say this. was the land repossessed for sole purpose of handing it over to him? Now, we have to ask now, how did the ministry, local government ministry, come about identifying the land, come about the process they went through for the land? Did they earmark this land because of Silla said, I want this land? That's a valid point, and we're going to emphasize on this point. Why is this? Let me start that, then before going to the next questions. When the 𝗧𝗧 family foundation was asked to stop work, they asked them to stop work on the land. And being abiding citizens, they stopped. Later they were advised, no, that's your land. There's no legal notice to stop you. A verbal instruction should not stop you. By that time, Yunus have possession, think that he have possession. Yunus started to come to the land and to harass the people working for the 𝗧𝗧 family, throwing them off the land. When the 𝗧𝗧 family have already lodged complaint against the land, this guy thinks they already own the land. We have that audacity, the arrogance to come and throw someone from their own land. And he said he's an educator. He's a businessman. He's not an educator. He doesn't have the moral to be an educator. He's making money out of children. He's not educating those children. With that behavior, no. Now, this person, whenever the 𝗧𝗧 family send their workers a day or two, mysteriously, the ministry would know about it. Why the ministry is so fixated on this land? And they would send officers to come and throw the people, or ask the people to leave the land. Is it Yunus Silla who is giving instructions to the land ministry? The land ministry know that the 𝗧𝗧 family owns the property. They're protesting their right to the property. Why are they asking them to stop? And Yunus himself, I have a source that explained to me, Yunus himself said that when he was given the land, he was asked to quickly build on it. Was asked to quickly build on it. And I said to the guy, do you know what that means? I said, by who? He said, the ministry. I said, they wanted to make it complicated so that the 𝗧𝗧 family would let go. That if he built on it, quickly build on it. Now let's throw the 𝗧𝗧 family out. We are not dealing with their case. Because they know that if they go through the due diligence and look at the case, the 𝗧𝗧 family maintain their land. Now, they are ignoring the letters from the lawyers from the 𝗧𝗧 family. They want 𝗧𝗧 family to be forced to go to the courts, which should not be. They hired a solicitor writing to the ministry. They're ignoring that. Now, they are asking this person who is illegally occupying the land. This is like Israelis, what they do to the Palestinians. Now, to quickly build structures there so that the dispute would be more difficult to settle. Now, the 𝗧𝗧s will be pushed. No, the 𝗧𝗧s should not be pushed. Now, let me move on to the other point. I said, I am asking because the 𝗧𝗧 foundations were verbally noticed that the land was taken from them around early January, and by February, within a month, Yunus is already writing the post that he will be building his school in Koto East. Why did I ask? I was told that a verbal notice, not written, not if you know the due process that takes in, consultation due process that takes in before land is confiscated, land that the person have been paying their rates, land that the person have maintained fence, have maintained a structure within, have maintained someone in there, the circumstances of the 𝗧𝗧 family going in exile because of what happened to them to save their life. For that land, a land that is going to be used for public good, that land cannot even technically be taken. It's very difficult to take that land legally. It takes a lot of consultation, a lot of negotiations to agree upon, and the family need to agree. But the family was given a verbal notice. And in January, within a month, Yunus Silla from the cabal of URR already writing on his Facebook page, that's what I was reading there, go and look at his Facebook page, writing on his Facebook page that he was going to build a school. Now, 15 days notice of stop your building, stop the land, is going to be repossessed. Someone saying that he owns the land. Then the land was taken away because of Yunus. And who is Yunus Silla? Because he's a cabal member of the URR. These are the people supporting Barrow. These are the people financing NPP. And these are the people now with Barrow. They are above Gambians. Or they are part of the cabal of other sect groups above Gambians. And this is the same government that tells you about tribalism. I'm not using tribalism because I know the cabal in URR is not based on one tribe. And I know it's not tribalism because they are not going to benefit their tribes. They are benefiting their family. And that benefit is not going to last because they are all going to be, God is going to make sure they pay for this injustice. Now, that's why I ask, why this land was repossessed within 15 days or within a month? Someone else have claimed ownership of the land. The process needed to be followed. This is what Gambians need to know. This is what we're dealing with. Now to say that because of Barrow have a new minister, let's Barrow prove that to us. Let Barrow prove that to us. To give back what is owned by people and bring about change. That will never happen because he's corrupt as well. Musa Dramé have done things for him. As doing things for him. That's why he rewarded Musa Dramé again. Musa Dramé should be tried and taken to prison. He's a criminal. I continue to ask. I am asking because the 𝗘𝗫𝗣𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗡 Foundation were verbally noticed that the land was taken from them around early January, and by February, within a month, Yunus is already writing that he will build a school. What process was followed to confiscate and reallocate the land? What process was followed? No process. That's why they're ignoring the contact from Sise family. They want to frustrate them. They want to take advantage on them. Continue. So when did the minister allocated the land to him? When did the minister allocate the land to Yunus? These are the things we need to find out. Now the government have to come out on this. And as I said, the Sise family is not only the one. There are so many. But people need to speak out. Finally, I said, if Yunus is an ethical person who really have concern through education, why would he be interested in taking land unlawfully belonging to other organization that is planning to build a school? If he's an educator, he's a genuine person, he is interested in advancing children's learning, why would he go to take forcefully, illegally, take someone's land, another organization that is building a school, and he's building a private school? I wonder why Musa Dramé did not give him land in Burusubi to expand. Why did Musa Dramé not give him land somewhere else? Busumbala or other places. Why does he want to go and take someone else developing a school? Why? Why not another place? And they know that this land is owned by the Sise family. It's written on the lease. It's on the sketch plan. It's on the master plans. This is where the positions are. Now it's for Gambians to see the spotlight, where the spotlight has been put on, and to understand what a continued Barrow government is. And if you think we can brush away and leave the Sise family, they're not calling up, they're doing their own thing. As I said, I have an interest in this case for many reasons. They are victims, but again, for what they want to do. This is not about this is their right. I'll fight for victims any time I have and energy I have. But there are not victims who cannot fight. They are fighting. I'm just adding up to what they're doing. 2, I am fighting too for the benefit of the generation, for the vision they have, for the mission they have. That's what I want to be part of. And I think Gambians will fight for that. And to know that if we don't fight these injustices, that is what is going to cripple our country. This is going to destabilize our country. Not every family or every individual will have the discipline to go through the due process. Some people will just take a gun and come after the people that want to destabilize them. And we should not get there. We should be civilized people that respect the rule of law, follow the due process. But if the government is using all the instruments of power in their hands to deny families, deny people, citizens, deny the victims for that matter, because the victims is like a double whammy. They are already victims. You have a mandate, obligation to support them. No, you deny them that support. You deny them justice. Now you are putting injustice on them. And people will tell you, Barrow is humble, Barrow is this, Barrow is that. This is the problem. They are all in it. But Musa Brahme would not have had the audacity to do it. Why he did not fire Musa Brahme? Why he did not take Musa Brahme to presence? Just as he relieved the other criminal, James Fulmus Gomez. But we just pray to Allah that a sensible government will come in place. And all these people, whether they are alive or not, they will be stripped of everything they took from us. They are heartless. Guys, that was the 2 presentations we needed to do. If you come late, please start from the beginning and hear about the central bank and others. And as I said, I have the central bank dossiers, I have the mega bank dossier, I have the this 55 million investigation, and I'm only going to share with competent platforms. Please don't ask if you don't have a competent platform. Please don't ask, or you are not a serious blogger. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day.